Today we're going to talk about how to market your app without paying for ads, the foundations that make organic growth possible and scalable. If you're wondering who I am, my name is Alex. I've been scaling consumer apps over the past 2 years. I'm the co-founder of an agency called Plutus Media, and this is a screenshot of a client dashboard over the past month and a half, doing over 600,000 daily views with one singular Instagram account. And we created this channel to show you what works, what doesn't, the lessons we're learning from doing it ourselves, and how to do it yourself. So again, if you're still wondering why you should listen, this is not a theory. This is the result of real-world execution refined over years of testing and optimization. And these are some of the lessons we learned from taking pre-screen from 0 to 50K in MRR within 3 months of launching, helping What Colors generate 400,000 downloads, 320K in revenue and 100 million views, TurboLearn adding 500,000 signups and 50 million views, and a lot of other consumer apps. We have over 20,000 videos posted on social media, roughly $500,000 paid to creators, hundreds of hours analyzing all this data, and tens of thousands of dollars spent on creative consultants to look through our whole system. So why organic content? I want to address why organic is so important. There's low CAC, so you're not paying per install, high quality users, so you have 3 to 5x better retention rates with organic users when compared to paid users. You have compounding growth. The content you post continues driving traffic long after you post it, long after creation. You can also use it for other campaigns, for ads, for other channels. And authenticity. You build genuine connection and a brand rather than just, interrupting users or rather than just pushing cold traffic. Consumer apps that are scaling the fastest today prioritize organic distribution from day one, and let's break down how. So what is creator marketing? Instead of you thinking about it like the whole influencer marketing approach, creator marketing is when brands work with content creators, which can be regular people or influencers, to promote their product, their app. Creators make videos, make posts that feel real, feel like a user review. They don't feel like an ad. They don't feel like you're being pitched. And the creators share the content on burner accounts, on accounts created from scratch for you. They don't post it on their account to their audience, and they give it to you or to the brand to use, right? So once again, influencer marketing versus creator marketing. With a UGC campaign, which is creator marketing, your everyday people or just regular content creators, micro-influencers are posting. Those are the ones who post. With influencer marketing, you're leveraging influencers with existing audiences, where they post. With a UGC campaign, they post on new accounts made for your app. When you're doing influencer marketing, you post to their personal accounts with their existing followers. And the goal with a UGC campaign is to test and scale viral content that works, and the influencer marketing is to get exposure and credibility through endorsements. This is my personal view on this, based on my experience and talking to a lot of people in the space that have done this alongside ourselves. So with the creator marketing or UGC, you're building attention. You own all of the assets. You build the audience. You create leverage that's actually compounding, that builds enterprise value, that builds your app and builds a repeatable, predictable system for user acquisition. When you're doing influencer marketing, on the other hand, you're renting attention. You're paying to borrow trust someone else already built. If you don't make ROI fast, pretty much you lose. There's no audience, there's no leverage that you own. The reason why I go so big on comparing these two is because people think that these are the same, or these get blended. They think you just go and get influencers, they put everyone in the same bucket. Creators are not the same as influencers. Micro-influencers are the creators I'm talking about, or even everyday people. Gen Z creators, Gen Z people who know how to talk, know how to be on camera. Those people can be creators, but influencers is assuming that they already have an audience built for themselves, right? So how do you start organic TikTok? How do you start this whole UGC campaign stuff? You can go and hire a creator team. So once again, Gen Z kids or students who are naturally extroverted, or micro-influencers with up to 50K followers is what I recommend for higher quality, but this is going to cost you a bit more in terms of content. You can do faceless, so you can create multiple unbranded accounts for more flexible content scaling. The thing here is you can do this with a team of creators, right? And you can pay cheaper for those posts because they're faceless. They can bulk upload, bulk create, bulk record. And then you have founder-led content, which is obviously you creating your own brand, your own personal brand on TikTok or Instagram, and pushing your app that way, right? So one of the questions we get a lot is, how do you source creators? How do you get these people? And the main thing we want to understand when thinking about this is you need to know what things to avoid first. You need to avoid high follower counts, most likely will have bloated prices. You need to avoid creators who don't know how to make content that gets views and converts and sells. Most of these people that you'll find in social media with huge followings, they know how to make content that gets views, but a lot of them do not know how to make content that converts, that pushes people to a product or to an app. Usually brands hire creators that only know how to make fully organic content. That's why it flops, right? What do you look for? You want to look for undiscovered creators. You want to look for creators who have quality. They're posting maybe on a specific niche, like the study talk, student niche. They're posting on lifestyle, on fitness, but they have no brand promotions on their accounts. They have no contact my manager in their bios. They have no for business inquiries, contact here in the specific email. You can see from their profile, from the lack of these things, that they still haven't cracked that they can charge a lot for their content. And those are the people you want, because those are undiscovered, those are coachable, and they haven't started charging thousands per post. So creators who study conversion focused content are also very good, because it still feels organic and gets views. A very good example of this are TikTok Shop affiliates. You can get TikTok Shop affiliates that are already doing very well, but you would have to pay them higher retainers, obviously, to justify their attention being here and not on a TikTok Shop affiliate account where they would get a cut in sales. Or you need to just put a deal in front of them that makes sense, that's appealing to them, with performance bonuses and with a lot of incentives for performance. Usually killers on organic, killer content creators that have done this in the past have no problem having high performance stakes and lower retainers. This is a quick tip. So where do you find them? In order of importance, you go Instagram and TikTok. Manual outreach there is unmatched. You have Discord communities, so you already have a lot of communities of people trying to be affiliates on TikTok or just trying to learn how to create organic content. It's very easy to then go and pitch those people an opportunity, as long as obviously you're legit, you're trustworthy, and you give them a good deal. You have X with UGC keywords. There's a bunch of posts on X always from creators looking for work or from people looking for creators, and you can just scrape the comment section. There's creator marketplaces, there's student platforms like Home from College, etc. And then there's job posts, which is not a platform, but you can just post jobs everywhere, like LinkedIn, Upwork, Fiverr, all these places. You can just go post jobs based on what you want and get them from there. Now, one tip, guys, is one of the things we see a lot is a lot of people, especially the ones who are not doing this or are not actively looking for things like this, the people in the TikTok Shop affiliates space, the people who are already maybe creating content for other apps, you will have to do with the regular person, the regular creator, you'll have to do a lot of explaining on how the structure looks like. They have to post every day, and they have to create a new account and warm it up, and they have to keep it warm, right? So all of these things need to be explained to them beforehand. So when you're doing manual outreach, when you're mapping out what your process would look like, keep in mind that you will always, when you get a positive response, always have to get them on a call. I would just filter to get their portfolio and past work sent out first, and then you get them on a call if they're a good fit, and you explain the whole thing and what they need to do. Once again, if they're creators who need that context, usually from Instagram and TikTok, you'll have a lot of those that need context, and from job posts, student platforms, all this. So budget. How do you budget for this? You want to have a base always, right? So you want to have a base to justify you retaining ownership of all the content, of all the IP, so you can run ads, so you can use the content everywhere as you'd like. So you want to have this, and you can structure it, in my experience, in one of two ways. You can either do a fixed amount per video for a fixed amount of videos per week, and then you have consequences for not hitting that KPI, and you have completion bonuses when they do hit that KPI, okay? Or you can do a just flat retainer for every 30 videos, and you control the frequency as things are performing. When they start to perform more, you increase frequency. If they're not picking up, you just do not increase frequency, right? So I would do that. The base usually goes anywhere between $20 per post all the way up to the $80, $100 per post for this organic job. It really just depends. You should only judge the base, the amount they should get, based on their past performance. So you want to ask for lifetime organic views and revenue generated for other brands with organic content. Okay, you also want to scout their profile for the last time they went viral. There's a bunch of things you can do here, but lifetime organic views is usually a very good way of doing it, and you can categorize it with, for example, from 0 to 10 million, you pay them the least you can. From 10 to 30 million lifetime organic views, you pay them a bit more, and then above 30 is already a very good threshold. Above 100 is the sweet spot. It's perfect. So performance bonuses, you can structure this the way you'd like. With e-commerce, with physical products, super easy because of TikTok Shop affiliate, people just get a cut on sales. But for apps, if you have an app, you will have to set something up that's based on views, from my experience. And that could look like something like $800 per million views, $1,000 per million views, capped at 3 million per video, right? I always like to cap at 2 or 3 million per video because from there the conversions get diluted. So that's a good way to do it. One that's been working very well is $100 for every 100,000 views. And you always want to do it, regardless of however you structure it, you always want to do it with a caveat. Only in videos that show the product for 3 seconds and have a clear CTA to the website or with the name of the app on the App Store. So you have to previously agree on what CTAs look like and make it a bit loose so they can adjust within that structure. But you only want to pay out bonuses on videos that have this, because obviously then anyone could be making completely unrelated videos to your app and going viral, and you'd have to pay them. So that's not what you want. Now, the other thing that's super important is managers. One of the things people don't think about too much is, how am I going to manage a creator team? Who is going to be their day-to-day, giving them daily feedback, daily inspiration videos, making sure they made changes from the day before, making sure they're not missing posts, making sure whoever's missing posts is getting kicked out. So there's so much to manage, and the managers are so responsible for the success of a campaign that you need to budget for it. So I would keep at least $2,000 a month for managers, for one manager, and you want to hire experienced marketers or higher tier creators, so creators who are better than others, to manage the campaign in an initial stage. This is not optimal, but in an initial stage it could cut it could make sense. So around $10,000 a month budget is the sweet spot to start based on everything I said, and you can then structure it the way you'd like, right? So going into strategy work, this is one of the things also I see being neglected a lot. When you're working with influencers, they already know what works on their accounts. They're already growing. They already have hundreds of thousands of followers. When you're working with creators, they don't know what works. So you need to guide them. You need to be there every day, giving them examples, giving them what to do. You need to pre-build hooks, formats, CTAs, frameworks. All of these things you need to do beforehand, researching your niche, researching what your ICP wants to look at, and doing strategy first, execution second, always. Okay? Everyone wants to bias towards execution, and that's fine as long as you do strategy. You need to have a direction to be able to execute towards, right? So this is my point of view. This is what's worked for us after doing this for 70 plus people. So again, just one of the common mistakes I see. Now with market research, this is one of the most crucial parts when it comes to strategy. A lot of your success is about knowing your audience. So before you market your app, you need to do market research in terms of, what does your ICP want to see? What's their day-to-day like? What are their pain points? Limiting beliefs. All of these things that create angles that you can attack them with content. The good thing is also, you don't need to come up with the angles. If you have the types of people and you have listed out their pain points, their limiting beliefs, things that trigger them, things that they already consume, your creators will be able to find angles on how to hit those things on hooks, on content, to be able to go viral, right? But this is the difference between making a $5,000 a month app and a $500,000 a month app, or top 50, right? Your goal is to create high converting viral videos. No one cares if you go viral if it doesn't convert. No one wins, right? So you need to ask yourself, who is buying my product? Who is downloading my app? And you need to immerse yourself in those people. You need to find the ICP, understand their wants, struggles, create solutions to their problems with your app, and identify your USP, right? So when you're creating content and marketing your app without the market research, you will fail. This is why many app founders think TikTok organic doesn't work, is because they just throw a bunch of spaghetti on the wall, nothing sticks, and they blame the platform. Do not do this. Do your research, and you can even use TikTok search insights. These platforms want you to go viral. They give you all the tools you need to go viral, to bring traffic. They tell you content gaps, SEO, things that are high volume search keywords. You have so much to work with. You just need to sit down and explore. That's the highest leverage work you can do, besides building the creator team and the management team, right? So how do you go viral? 2 words: watch time. This is the single most important metric you need to be tracking, is watch time. You need to be looking at your videos on a retention rate. You need to be looking at where the drop-off points are. And the only thing over time that needs to improve is this line flattening out, so you have a high percentage of viewers watching till the end. This is the only thing you need. You just need people retaining until the end of your video. That's it. So if you, for example, you're stuck in 200 view jail, your problem is hooks. If you look at your watch time, I promise you, no one's getting past 5 seconds. So you just need to fix that. Thinking about CTAs when you're at 200 views is stupid. You need to fix the hook. You need to fix the first 5 seconds. After you think about the rest. So always look at this when making your decisions on what needs to change in my content for me to go viral, okay? Why does creator marketing compound? This is insane. So you own all the accounts that these creators create, or that you create, however it is. You get better at the platform because you have all the data and all the insights. You can pivot, retest, optimize. Even when content flops, everything just adds data, audience, long-term value. This is one of the biggest no-brainers of 2025. And if you look through, for example, TurboLearn, which we've worked with for a long time, you can see the amount of accounts they have. You can see at least here 3 over 10K, one of them over 20K followers. So all of these are owned by the brand. They do whatever they want with these accounts. And the best thing is they can even run ads. If you really want to run ads, if you really don't want to scale only with organic, which by the way is totally fine and you should, but you can run Spark ads on all of these accounts because you own them. The IP of the content is yours. And I know the title of the video is how to scale without paying for ads. The whole point is you can use ads to improve your growth. You can use ads to make it faster. You can use ads to scale creatives that already went viral. Usually that's the best way to do it, okay? So how do you spot problems with a UGC campaign? Usually problems are one of 3 things. It's either a management problem, a creator problem, or an account problem. A management problem looks like feedback is being given to a creator is following the feedback and implementing it, and nothing is changing. So that's most likely the manager that's either not being clear enough on what needs to change, or that doesn't really know what needs to change because it's clearly not giving results, or the foundation of your campaign really needs to be reworked, right? So that's a management problem. Creator problem, very simple. You're giving creators feedback, they're not applying it. You're giving one singular creator, John, is receiving feedback every day, and he's applying nothing of what you're giving him. This is a creator issue. You need to fix it on the creator side. And then account problems. Account problems are the so-called shadow bans, and this is not as common as you think. If you're at 200 views, your content is shit, okay? You're not shadow banned. Now, if you're at 0 to 100 views for over 10, 12 posts, you're shadow banned, okay? This is not what most people label it as, where you just post low quality, lazy content, you get 200, 300 views, and you say, oh, I'm shadow banned. That's not the issue. The issue is your content, okay? So making it very clear. Also, one of the things I don't see enough founders talking about is how UGC and how organic just completely boosts your ASO. So if you have an app on the App Store and your CTAs and your content are saying, oh, search for the app's name on App Store, you obviously will rank much better for the keywords, and you can also use the CTAs to any keyword that you'd like to improve your volume. So That's another thing here. That's good. And then mistakes. And then mistakes that kill creator-led growth. Biggest mistakes we see: letting creators be creative. Yeah, no. You need to set the foundation, the direction, the research, the strategy for a campaign, and then you tell them to be creative. They need to be creative within very strict guidelines, otherwise you'll end up with a flopped campaign. Data tracking, most people are just, blind running a campaign. They don't know what's working. They don't know where their drop-off points are. They don't know where to double down on. This is just, you need to know this. And then again, campaign management. Hire good managers, guys. Invest in that. You need good managers if you're not doing it yourself, or if you don't understand content. Hire a good manager. It's 1000% worth it. Now, metrics to track from day one, touching on the data tracking side, I would get a daily tracking checklist with posts, views, saves, shares, or any tracking software you'd want to use. App Store search impressions, this is really cool. And then organic downloads. If you have an app that's already established, that already gets a lot of organic downloads, you would just do it versus the baseline when the campaign started, right? What does this mean? If you usually get 5,000 downloads a day organically, you just track against that. You don't say, you just track against that. So it's the delta after the campaign starts. If the campaign starts and then after a month you start averaging 8,000, 10,000 downloads a day, it most likely made a lot of difference. So that's how you do it. Data tells you when to pivot, not your feelings, not what you think, not what the girl on Reddit said. It's data only. So this is the leverage that you can build that will pay you off forever. You're not just marketing your app, you're building a self-compounding engine, and you need to operate ruthlessly. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. And if you want to work with us, you can book a call in the link in our bio. Thank you.